At my 7-year-old daughter's birthday, we had just cut the cake when only 10 minutes later, my entire family stood up together and walked out of the party. Hello there. My name is Leighton. Before I share the story that was recently recounted to me, I wanted to take a moment to introduce myself. I often hear compelling tales, and I'm here today to share a powerful one I heard from a woman named Alyssa. My name is Alyssa, and I'm 31 years old. This story is about the moment I finally broke free. 10 minutes. That was the extent of their stay. The birthday pastry hadn't even been sliced. My daughter's tiny hands still gripped the streamers. On her dress, her gaze wide with the type of elation only an 8-year-old possesses. And then my mother rose to her feet. "We have more important things to attend to," she announced bluntly. My sister Cora smirked, collected her children, and trailed behind. One after another, seating units scraped the flooring. Footwear shuffled toward the exit until the space was silent. The only sound was my daughter, frozen in her chair, peering at the doorway where they had vanished. I didn't pursue them. I didn't plead. I simply knelt next to her and whispered, "Don't worry, my love. They won't distress you ever again." But internally, something sharp settled into place. This wasn't the initial incident. They had constantly dismissed me. My successes were mere luck. My challenges were my own shortcomings. My daughter an obligation. Yet I always invited them. I still felt family ties meant something. I still held on to hope, but when they abandoned that gathering, when they made my little girl believe she wasn't deserving of their time, the hope extinguished. What superseded it was colder, more resolute. The evening following the celebration, I stayed awake. I sat at the kitchen counter, while my child dreamed in the adjacent chamber, the partially consumed cake softening in the dark. I reviewed every verbal attack, every look of scorn, every instance. I'd been made to feel insignificant, and I devised a scheme not for my own well-being but for hers. They would never shame her again. And if they believed I would continue to be the person they relied on for funds, for favors, for silent absolution, they were mistaken. The initial action was effortless. I terminated the relationship. I had been settling my mother's utility costs for years. Ended. My sister Cora's automobile coverage ended. The small loans to relatives that were never repaid ended. By daybreak, every payment, every automated transaction, every safety mechanism was removed. I didn't inform them. I didn't issue a warning. I simply waited. The second action, visibility. For years, I'd permitted them to dictate the account. I was the person needing assistance, the pathetic one who craved their attention. So I uploaded the photographs. My daughter's grin as she extinguished the flames, her tiny face illuminated by sparklers, the empty seating units, visible in the backdrop. The caption read, "She deserved better, but she has me, and that is sufficient." People noticed. Neighbors, associates, their friends. Inquiries began to circulate. Where was the family? Why would they depart a child's party in that manner? Disgrace started to cling to them the way it had once clung to me. Day 3. The communication attempts commenced. First, my mother, gentle initially. "Sweetheart, the payment must have failed to process." I let the device ring. Then my sister Cora, more aggressive. "Hey, the insurance is due. You stated you would." Silence. Finally, a relative's voice filled with distress. "We are delayed on our rental fee. Just this one instance, please." Click by. The conclusion of the week. Hopelessness permeated their voices. "Don't penalize the entire family for one minor lapse. You're overreacting. We didn't intend any harm. She's only a child. She will forget." But I hadn't forgotten, and neither would my daughter. The breaking point arrived swiftly. They requested a meeting. The same living space where so many of their insults had been directed at me. The atmosphere felt stagnant. Their expressions were drawn, fatigued. My mother spoke first. "We apologize. We should not have departed. We were simply not thinking clearly." My sister Cora folded her arms. "You're inflating the situation. Families have disagreements." I looked at them, composed, cold. "You did not have a disagreement," I stated. "You demeaned a child." They shifted uncomfortably. Nobody spoke. I set my cellular device on the surface, opened the photo application, and slowly scrolled through the pictures of the birthday. "Do you comprehend how many individuals have seen these?" I inquired. Their gazes darted to the display. My sister Cora's face lost its color. "Your neighbors, your co-workers, individuals." who barely knew us are inquiring why you would abandon a child. Do you know what they perceive now? Not me as a failure. You as cruel people. My mother's voice broke. Please cease. I leaned closer, my voice steady. No, I already ceased. I stopped settling your accounts. I stopped carrying your burdens. And I stopped believing your affection was worth purchasing. The ensuing silence was profound, stifling. They understood. I was not returning. Their financial support had vanished and their standing. The one thing they protected more than kinship was disintegrating right before their eyes. I stood up, slid the device back into my pocket. You walked out on her birthday celebration. I am walking out of your lives, and I did. The following morning, my cellular device vibrated constantly. Calls, messages, please, guarantees, panic. I inverted it on the counter, poured my daughter a portion of breakfast, cereal, and sat across from her. She was humming, swinging her lower legs under the table. She looked at me. Are they returning? I smiled. No, my love, they are not. Her shoulders relaxed. She picked up her spoon. And for the first time in years, so did I. They assumed I needed them. But the truth was simple. Without me, they collapsed. Without them, we thrived. They left her birthday. I left them behind. If you enjoyed the story, make sure to subscribe to Home Exposed for more shocking and powerful stories. Don't miss the next big reveal.